Hey guys, today I want to talk about the importance of the tracks between the masterpieces. So there's something that eats at my soul every single day of my life, and that is not recording the songs I know I need to record. Like songs that I wrote over 10 years ago that are like on my phone or on a hard drive somewhere. Songs that have not been recorded professionally, like literally with the laptop singing right here into the microphone or just with the guitar. Very bad quality songs, but the content in those songs is like very important to me and special. Everything that we go through in life reflects in our creations and our music, and you will see that when I start releasing these songs, because I've come to the conclusion that I'm probably never gonna re-record these songs. I've been holding on to them for over 10 years. They're not perfect, and that's the thing that's holding me back, because there's like no plugins used, like very like no effects, like they're very raw songs. And not only that, but the lyrics, like, it's very deep and important to me. There's actually 3 eras of my music that you guys are not familiar with. I'm gonna divide them into 3 separate eras. There's a classical era where I have a few piano pieces that I've composed. There is a Christian era of the time I met Jesus back in 2011, 2010. I'm not like a religious person anymore. It was a moment in my life. It was an era. That's how I like to look at it. I still, love God and stuff, but I choose not to identify with any religion for my own personal reasons. But this was a very important time in my life. The music that I wrote was very special to me, and I would love to share it with you guys. And the last one is the hotel era, because I lived in the ghetto, like in hotels, moving around from hotel to hotel for a good 3-4 years of my life. And that was after the Christian era. So you will see the evolution of, God saved Jade, right, from horrible things, right? And then after Jade left, the Christian era, like this horrible era, right? And like you can see the songs progressively get darker. And now we get to the electronic era. And then I stopped singing, right? Because I feel like this happens to a lot of us. Like we kind of censor ourselves as we get older. We start like singing less from our heart, right? Because we're very careful of what we say, because you never know, like, what employer is going to hear me curse, what employer is going to hear me say this. So you start censoring yourself. So after that dark era, I stopped singing completely. Like, I think I released like 1 or 2 songs where I sing, but I'm very careful with what I say. And the sad part is that because of this self-censorship that I've done to myself, right? Because it's what we do. Like, oh, I'm pretty much like, taping my mouth shut because I'm afraid of what people are going to think about what I say, right? Because I've done this, I deleted so much music. Like, it makes me really sad to think about, because I try, like, I have some of the beats and then I can't remember like the lyrics. I remember like a little bit and then I'll completely forget. And that's very sad. So if you're young, and you're at a point where you're like, oh, I want to hide my music, maybe take your music down, but don't delete it. Like, always keep your own music in a safe place, because you're gonna wanna come back to that. Even if they're bad recordings, even if you're never gonna release them, like, or show them to anyone, keep your music. It's a good feeling to listen to your songs and be like, wow, I've come this far, not only in skills, but like in life. Because again, music is a story that we tell, right? Whatever it is that we're going on during that time is what is gonna come out. So I guess, I don't know like what stage I've been in these past few years where I've done a lot of electronic music, but I guess, that will answer itself after the next era, right? So now we're gonna have the electronic era, which was this huge thing with DAWless, modular. Actually, no, I guess the electronic era was one thing. Now we have the modular. So that's kind of how you have to look at your compositions, like you created this way and now you're on to the next thing. Like, don't get stuck in like, I make this genre, because you're an evolving person. And some people will tell you, if you do want to be successful, stick to the same genre, never switch it up, like keep your thing. But you're a constant being, like you're an evolving human. Don't get stuck in, I make reggae, that's it, that's all I do, I make reggae. You guys haven't even heard any of my reggae songs. I make reggae, I make classical music, I'm a singer-songwriter. I played cello in high school. Like, everything is just out, everything is that you do is just you putting it out into whatever it is that you put your hands on. And that's what I've learned to embrace with like switching my setup so much, because if you've been around in my channel, this shit looks different like every day, right? But what I've learned to appreciate from that is that every tool that I use like allows me to create music in a different way. And I made a video, the last video that I made before this one, saying how I hadn't released any music since 2022. And by released music, I mean like, you know, actually like on Spotify and iTunes and Bandcamp and all that. And because I beat myself up every single day about not recording these songs or re-recording these songs or releasing these songs, I don't see like all the work that I've done, like all the live streams that I've done throughout this whole time, all the music that I make that just doesn't have a name, you know, doesn't have an album cover. But that's gonna change. So every Friday until all of my music is out, I'm gonna be releasing a new album. It's going to be on Bandcamp. It's going to be on all major platforms. It's going to be a lot of like cinematic and ambient works and like dark type ambient type stuff. And I know not everybody is into that. And like, you know, like I've tried to come to peace when people tell me what kind of music they want to hear from me. Because even my mom's like, when are you going to sing? When are you going to sing? And I'm like, I don't know. Leave me alone. You know, like whenever it happens, it will happen. This is what I'm making now. I'm making modular stuff. I'm making ambient stuff. That's what the muse is like flowing through me. That's what I'm going to do. Like I'm not going to just make lo-fi to please one person in the comments. So don't get stuck waiting to release your masterpieces, because this is what's happened to me. My piano songs that I've been holding on. I wrote a song when I was 13 years old that, you know, I don't even remember how to play it properly. I have it recorded like not greatly. If I ever wanted to release that song again, I would have to learn to play it again on the piano. So it's like, okay, am I going to do that? If I'm not going to do that, then is that song going to be lost forever? So, you know, these are just questions and things that I have to like analyze in my brain. Like what is really holding me back from doing this, you know? So I think I'm just going to put these songs out there, not edited, maybe just bring up the loudness, maybe like, you know, fancy them up a little bit with mixing, maybe stem them out. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to release these songs, because I definitely don't want to just put crap out there, but I also don't want to change the essence of, okay, this was recorded in a freaking hotel room sitting on my bed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope that inspired anyone in any way to get your music out there, because that's really the most important thing. And not necessarily like, okay, sign up for something and release your music, but just make your music, collect it, make an album, you know, put a name on it, put them all in one folder, name the tracks, you know, like get ready. Now, I'm not saying just put it out there, like no, get it ready, take your time with it. I do that. I set up my albums, my covers, you know, like way ahead before I release them. And it's like, okay, this song is going to go in this album. Maybe I'll move it actually to this album, you know, and take your time with it, go through your music, and don't be so hard on yourself with your music, because that's another thing that I've learned. Most of the times when I listen to one of my, like when I'm choosing songs for my album and I'm like, I'm not going to put this song in here. Like, you know, I don't like it. Most of the time, like always, someone comes and they're like, oh my God, that's my favorite song in this whole album. And I'm like, well, shit, you know? So what I've learned is that we're our biggest critic, and like, just let the muse speak. If a little part of you feels like, okay, this is good, I'm proud of this, let it out. That's it, guys. Stay fly. Catch you in the next one. A big thanks to our sponsor, DistroKid. So you signed up for DistroKid, you absolutely love it, you want to share the good word. So why not get paid for doing so? As a DistroKid member, you get access to the referral program that sends $10 your way every time someone signs up using your link. In case you haven't signed up yet, here's mine. I get $10 and you save 7%. Everybody wins.